Well, I think I'm good here. How's everybody doing? Yeah? So it's really welcome to Washington, D.C. As the fifth Indian American congressperson, we've achieved a new high watermark for. Now, I often feel I may be the most unlikely person to be here in the United States Congress. I was in India. I grew up, born in Karnataka, in Belgaum. Even though I'm a Maharashtrian, but I lived in Karnataka, grew up in there. 6 sisters, a brother. My father retired very early. I was 14 years old, and as an older son, I felt a responsibility to take care of the family when the family fell into financial hardship. And I think you can understand the Indian culture and the son and the older son that has to take care of the family. So while I was in college, I graduated from high school when I was 14, and while I was in college, I worked as a janitor to help my family succeed. And then I was in a State Bank of India as a cashier back in Bijapur in Karnataka. And then worked in Bhabha Atomic Research Center in Mumbai, working as a health physicist. And then I felt that coming to the United States would help me bring my family out of poverty. And that's what motivated me. So I applied for studies. And I got an admission for PhD program in University of Akron to do my PhD in chemistry. At the time, many years ago, I was planning to work on electric vehicles and electric batteries. So all I needed to do was, I had the admission to the university, and some of you may identify with this. So all I needed was a student visa. And back in those days, there was no appointment, so you had to go to the American Embassy in Mumbai and stand in line. The sooner you go, the quicker your number would come, because they'll only take so many people in a day. So I went there at 5 a.m., 5 o'clock in the morning. I stood outside the American Embassy. And by 11 a.m., my number got called. So I went to the embassy, and I was standing in front of a window where the consulate person, her name is Virginia. So she was across the window asking me questions. I studied in a Marathi medium. I didn't know very good English then. And I didn't understood half of what she asked me. But I told her that I'm going to US because I want to work on my PhD. And she told me she is going to deny my student visa. And it really caused a lot of hurt, because this meant a lot, that my whole life, this was a life-changing event to be able to come to America. And I've never done this before in my life, but I fell down. I lost consciousness, and I was down on the floor. When I gained consciousness and opened my eyes, I saw Miss Virginia standing with a cup of water, but no visa. After that, you can't go and get an interview anymore. All you can do is submit your papers with more evidence. So I got some more information and reapplied a week later. Then they tell you, come back at 4 o'clock, we'll let you know. And at 4 o'clock, I go there, I see the letter on the top that say the same stamp, rejected, visa denied, Virginia's signature. So I called my professor in the US. I said, can't get my visa, I need your help. And so he sends a nice letter. And I attached that to my application, submit it again. I go at 4 o'clock in the evening, same letter again, her signature, very familiar stamp, visa rejected. The fourth time I pull out some more evidence to help my case, and she rejects my visa for the fourth time. I'm now unemployed, I'm struggling, I'm teaching, I'm doing tutoring in people's homes. I would go to students' home to tutor them, and that was my way of supporting my family. So a month goes by, and I'm looking at this stack of papers that Miss Virginia had rejected, and I said, I want to try one more time. But this time I have nothing new to give to Miss Virginia. So I take that stack of paper, resubmit it, and they say, come back at 4 o'clock. I say, okay. So I go there at 4 o'clock, and he says, give me your passport. And I said, why do you need my passport? And he says, I can't give you a visa if you don't have a passport. So I rush home, bring my passport, I get my visa. I said, how come Miss Virginia changed your mind? And they said, no, Virginia is not here right now. She's gone to America for vacation. And her assistant, who looked at your papers, thought your papers were perfect. And that's how I got a chance to come here. And and I got my PhD, and I worked as a postdoctoral scholar at University of Michigan, doing more research on batteries and doing more innovation. And then applied for my green card. And I had this interview with this person in the green card office. And she was maybe 6 months pregnant. And I congratulated her, and we talked. And she interviewed me, and then I was waiting for my green card, and it never showed up. So I went to the immigration office, and I said, what's going on? Why am I not getting my visa? And they said, oh, your counselor, the person that's interviewed you, she's on maternity visa. And so I said, when will I get my green card? And they said, we don't know when she's coming back. She keeps extending her visa, her leave. And I just couldn't believe. So I said, cannot anybody else look at my papers? And finally, I was able to convince one of the other officers to take a look at my papers. She had sent out all kinds of inquiries and searches, and all of those results had come in, but there was nobody to look at them so they can approve my green card. So this person was kind enough, and he looked at my papers, approved, and I got my green card. But today I see a lot of people have issues with green card. Green card lines are, people are waiting for 10, 12 years. And this is something that I have experienced personally. And matters are becoming so difficult for families now. There is family separation, there is anxiety, there is stress because of the visa situation. And that's something that really I want to take upon and work on. So later on, I started a small business. The business grew. At one time, my business was worth about $200 million. It's a great investment for the $20 that I came into this country on. And created lots of jobs. And in 2016, I saw that my family is doing well, my businesses are doing well. I've achieved my American dream, but when I travel all across Michigan, I see many people, many Americans living at or below poverty level. In my district, in Detroit alone, 25% of the people live at or below poverty. And I saw that since I achieved my American dream, but many of the people in this great country that gave me so many opportunities can't achieve their American dream. And with that thought, I said, I'm not going to accumulate wealth anymore. I decided to sell my company, took some of that money, gave it to all of my employees. Not just the CFOs and not just the top managers, but every employee in my company. received, not only they received profit sharing, but they received a portion of the sale proceed. And then I decided if I can run a company, I can run a state. And with that in mind, I ran for the governor of Michigan. Not many people thought I could. As an immigrant, as someone that speaks with an accent, someone who looks different, speaks different. But I felt that I could make a difference in the lives of people in Michigan. I did not get elected, but I got 200,000 votes in that Democratic primary. And so after that, I decided to not go back to business, stay in public service, got elected to the State House, Michigan State House as a state representative. I, as a part on the appropriations, I passed the two of the biggest budgets, two of the biggest education budgets, brought a lot of money to rebuild schools. I brought a lot of money to the district to rebuild mental health and mental hospitals, and created a lot of jobs in Michigan. And after that, when the congressional position opened up, I'm here. I'm serving on the Homeland Security. And it's ironic, that the person that had the most difficulty getting into the country, now I'm in charge of a ranking member on focusing on America's border security. And through that, I want to help and I also work and serve on the Small Business Committee. And with that, I want to help people get access to capital, people get access to and be able to start their own businesses, be financially independent, and succeed, get opportunities with federal government, contracting opportunities. So that's what I want to create across America, and certainly in my district in Detroit, Michigan. I also want to focus on not only border security, but making sure that we help our economy grow at a higher GDP than we have ever seen before. And the way to do that, I believe, is through immigration reform. We need a good, comprehensive immigration reform. We need higher H-1 visa quotas, because 800, I've talked to 700-800 different companies who have been asking for more skilled workforce. And the H-1 visa numbers are limiting the growth for our technology businesses. The people who come here, highly qualified people, we need to keep them here because our businesses need that. And there is a misconception that by allowing these foreign-born scientists to stay in the U.S. is affecting American jobs. In fact, it does help increase American jobs by having the highly skilled people stay and work in the United States and help grow businesses. So I want to work on getting workers for agriculture industry, getting workers, not only the high-tech workers, but also people that can help in the agriculture industry. People can help in manufacturing industry, because currently one thing that I hear from all over the businesses is that they need more workers. They need more workers, and that's how we are going to be able to grow our economy at a higher pace than we have been doing. So that's one of my focuses. I also been asked to be a co-founder of the Congressional Hindu Caucus. This is an organization that wants to fight against any kind of discrimination and hate. We have hate and discrimination should have no place in America. Any kind of, one of the greatness of the United States is our ability to practice the faith that we choose to practice. And that religious freedom is very, very important. And the Hindu community deserves that as much as any other religion. and the constant attacks on the Hinduism needs to be protested, just like we would protest attacks on Jewish religion. That's just like we would attack on Muslim religion. You know, every person has a right to pray the God that he or she wants to pray, and we need to have that. So I want to help protect the religious freedom of all of our communities, and that's why I agreed to serve on this caucus, Congressional caucus, that we'll soon announce. But it's so good to see all of you. Thank you for all you have done to achieve, you know, we are a country of immigrants. And I am amazed and thankful for what the immigrants have done to make this country the strongest democracy in the world and the best place in the world. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting this event, and thank you for inviting me. Before I forget, I want to introduce my wife Shashi, who Shashi and I have been together for 24 years, and she is an amazing partner, and we are together in everything that we do. So I thank her, and thank you.